we do more Discord today. Last stream we started getting the categories sorted. Today we're going to be sorting out some roles, some Discord roles. Met said, should the chat channels be moved directly underneath their corresponding info channels? Right, so that's a question, folks. I've been kind of like this about the organisation, whether they look aesthetically more pleasing like this, where the chat channels are all together and the read-only channels are all together, or whether it's more appropriate to have them directly under each. Now, I suppose it's a subjective thing. I'm still trying to make up my mind. I spent, was it Wednesday or Tuesday night? I spent a Tuesday night constantly like trying to get them both out. I couldn't make my mind up. I kept doing this and then putting them back down, not being able to decide which one I liked best. So I wanted to ask your opinion to see what you think, because we've all got to look at this channel, you see. We want this to look good, otherwise no one will want to take part and look at it if it looks too messy for our eyes. So I've left them there for now because I was wondering if it was better having, like, tidier having them this way. But I do get what Met means, because that was my original idea, to have them together one after the other, like the Places voice channel directly under that one. But no matter what, like, once the read-only info's in all of these, there will be links that link you straight to the chat channel by clicking anyway, with a hyperlink thing. So it's all about just what's easier on the eye, really, with this decision. Honestly, I thought it was too crowded with those channels, between the info channels and the ones we can write in. So you mean you think it's better like this, having them all together, rather than putting them in between like we tried last time? If so, I'm curious about opinions. We'll see what the overall majority say. I've left them like this because I personally think it's more aesthetically pleasing to have them together, but I still wasn't completely sure 100%. That's why I wanted to ask you folks what you felt about this, to have a second opinion. I know that info channels are for explaining things, but my brain was considering in the future when there's either. That's very true, because imagine when there's like way more, it could start to get messy with how they looked before, because I'm not sure they look as neat and tight. Let's just for purely trying it out, let's just put them there just to say. And also look at mobile as well, folks, because it's also got to look pleasing on mobile as well, not just on desktop. And I thought it looked a bit messy on mobile with it like this. So let's just that goes there, that goes there. So that's kind of what the original plan was, to have them like that, which it works okay if there's a few channels, but as we build up, especially with characters, it might get confusing. So especially when the character ones are separated as well. It's kind of cool to see them all together. You can sort of process it more easily what's what when they're like that. And you just go to the, it's straightforward enough, I think, to go to the chat channel. But if that's still confusing and you don't know how to click the chat channel, there'll be a link here anyway. Once you've read the read-only stuff, once it's in, there'll be a sort of, how do you do it at? No, it's not an at, it's a thing. So it would be, say for Carol's, just as an example, we'll have all her info in and then click that and it'll take you there. So that is always a very easy option, just to make linking easier when we've got more channels, and there's a lot to scroll down. So there we go, delete. And what I mean is, I think I understand why there are pins. Yeah, pins just suck, in all honesty, on Discord, because there's just not enough. I want people to know. I want these to be in people's faces, these read-on chats, especially if I'm going to spend hours neatly and tidily presenting and making banners for them. Eventually, you know, all that hard work gets just hidden away. So if people are going to join the Discord, they need to see that stuff, because it's kind of Discord can be a text heavy mess. It's not very visual, is it? But the good thing about having a channel where you don't have to type, that keeps the text away. So, I mean, everyone's different. Some people might hate this method, but I don't know, I kind of like it and think it's the only way to make things work without people getting confused. So, we're going to see how it goes. Well, I figured with them together, more channels would mean sometimes you have to scroll a lot to get the right corresponding channel. Yeah, that's true, which I mentioned that could be the only issue, having to scroll down, which is probably why it's easiest to just do the link thing and they'll take you straight there. You don't even need to go scroll down, because really you just click on that, read the info, and go to it that way by clicking. Maybe you should remove the info channels and keep the pins for the info on what the channels are. Yeah, I wouldn't like that, because I just hate pins. Discord are disappointing with how they've not added that as a feature. Totally, I'd love pins if they were sticked, but they're not, sadly. And many people don't even realise they're there. And, you know, there's more info that's going to be added over time. And the limited text of Discord is an issue, so it's nice to not have to worry about messages being separated that way too. When I use other Discords, I have a beginning info channel that explains where to go, and you only get to see that channel before you see the other channels. You have to read it and click an icon to open up the other channels. Then folks get an explanation of where to find things before they start. There's always like an information thing, which, I mean, with all the info we're going to have over time, because there's going to be a lot, so I meant with them grouped like they are now, since if the info is right next to its own chat, you don't need to scroll too much to it. I must say, even if it looked crowded, I enjoy being inspired to try and come up with stuff in them. Yeah, I mean, it's a subjective thing, and it's a pity that Discord don't let you the user organise it how they like a custom thing, because we'll always be arguing over who likes what best, you know, like I'll like something, Kung will like something, Met and Van we'll all like something different. No one's going to agree on the same UI preferences. So I mean, eventually we could put up a poll and I could take a screenshot and below which ones you like best out of the which versions, and just go with the one that has the most votes to please the majority. But this is still a test. You know, like, we haven't even started properly yet. We haven't even got info in the channels yet, so it's like almost impossible to sort of judge at this stage, especially when we haven't even really kicked off chatting in there properly. So just because it's like this now doesn't mean it's going to be like this months down the road. I'm one of these people that have a change of heart now sometimes and want to experiment. Hi Chubb, how you doing? Yeah, it's hard to get in a better system. Yeah, I mean, Discord in itself is very limited. I mean, it's a great forum and a great place to chat and talk. but it's very limited in being aesthetically, visually exciting, like a website or the Law Bible would be, because it's just text, and you even have to go through these sort of things to get it looking nice, otherwise it can easily look a mess. And for something that's very well built and collaboratively heavy, with potentially so many different topics of discussion with this game, it makes it even more of a challenge, because I haven't personally seen any like collaborative world building or storytelling discords out there, so it's hard to like even have an example with what to be inspired by. I've had quite a long look actually. I've looked on the Discovery Explore thingamajig, and there's like nothing with like what we're doing here. So it's all about doing it with what we think's best. But yeah, I mean, this is we'll leave it like this for now. If we find actually we'll put places under places and do it like that. Eventually, if it starts getting annoying like this, then we could. We can put up a poll in polls if we want to, if we're finding that it's a bit awkward, and vote on the system that's we like best, and then we see then. But yes, it's all about experimenting at the moment. Things could change if we start to feel that things should be different with the organisation. Hi Yorkshire, maybe every live things higher up because this seems a bit much. Have you gone on other people's Discord to see what does it? Yeah, and I said that just about a minute ago, Yorkshire, just before you came in, that there's no other Discords that do this sort of thing, so it's there's nothing to really compare it to, because there's no like heavy collaborative projects of this nature out there, so there's really nothing to really look at, because there's it's a very niche, different thing. But if anyone knows any, feel free to throw them at me, because there might be some out there that I don't know of that could be similar that we could look at for some inspiration. Real life things higher. Honestly, I was inclined to keep the focus of the Discord on Raindrop Chronicles, because this is what it's about. Not that it isn't about these other things, but if we put that there, what do you guys think? I mean, if most of you here right now think real life things should go here, we could do that. But all I'm saying is I'm slightly skeptical, just because we don't want to bury the core sort of meaning of the Discord either, and bury it under the other channels. Speaking of forums, would you ever want to try having an old school web bulletin board style forum? That's an interesting thought, because it's true that something like that could work, because they tend to be, again, similar to Discord and places to collaborate and chat. They probably are more visual as well, and easier to see the first message, but I guess the one drawback of something like that would be that people would forget that it exists. Discord's one of those things that everybody uses so often, and everybody has it open every day on their computer, so it's one of those things that people always know it's there, and I guess that's what we don't want people to sort of forget, that it exists. So we'll say, I mean, it's not something I'd rule out, but yes, that's the hard thing. Yeah, and Discord, that's the one good thing about it. I have Discord open most times I open Google Chrome. Yeah. So we wouldn't want it to be dead, would we? Whereas, you know, even though we've not filled these read-only channels in yet, Kung and Muffin have both written in these, in a couple of these, which is quite promising because there's literally no info in here yet. I didn't expect anyone to start chatting in them yet. So that's the good thing about Discord, it tends to be a little bit more active. Forums are great if you have the popularity to drive it. Yeah, and maybe, who knows, if it ever got to that point, I'd consider it if I felt confident there'd be enough of an interest. Maybe Discord's the best place to start. And if we ever felt we wanted to move in the future, if things got a bit busy on here and overcrowded, and it just felt too messy and chaotic, then maybe at that point something like that could be considered, if there was plenty of people who sort of were like, yes, we'll do that. I need to walk the good doggo, but we'll leave the pad on for alert. We'll be back in a little. Awesome, Kung. I hope the walk goes well. But guys, yeah, I mean, this is experimentation, so we'll leave it like this for now. I mean, I'm not 100% like convinced. I'm like, yeah, it might work, but things could get changed around. We'll just see how it goes and just go with the flow and stuff. We might see some organisation changes over time. Alright, so ultimately content needs to be put in these channels because it's meaningless without any content in here. But obviously it's pretty time consuming to do that because I've got to go through all the community notes, write the key points of what we know so far. I've already started on places. I might not necessarily do these in order of how they are, but I did start on places because I felt like it. I've started on the Law Bible, getting things in, some images, the images that we had for the map. And that's all there is in here so far, just the images and a few key bits of information on the regions and the countries. But there needs to be more text, more context about, say, the legends and what the land is like and a bit of history. And anything that's on here, obviously over time, these articles will be really detailed. There'll be loads of paragraphs about them. And what goes in the Discord channels will be like a summarised version of what's on the Law Bible, just so it's easier to digest and you sort of get the gist of it by looking at the Places channel. And if you want to read more, there'll be a button. That's kind of how I'm imagining it, because a lot of people, some of you do look at the Law Bible, but someone who's, say, new to the community perhaps wouldn't. The first place they go to is probably the Discord. So this is like, these read-only channels are just a more accessible version of the Law Bible. However, if you wanted, you could do both. Create a forum and keep this Discord. Do the Discord for the lighter stuff and push people towards the forum for in-depth things, because forums have a better setup for topics than Discord. Yeah, it's a good point. And I think that's really what forums have, or what Discord lacks. So you never know, it could get to that point if we find. I'd say we'll give this a test. It's totally worth giving Discord the opportunity to be tried out with something of like this nature and see how it goes. I don't think anything should be written off before we first begin. Like, you know, we've had a few skeptical comments so far saying this might be perhaps a bit too much. Probably because there isn't any other Discord out there that goes this wild with channels. You know, I've looked at a few and there's barely any. But it's kind of interesting to just see. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure about other people, but there are only so many Discord channels I can be active in. 4 or 5, so the ones I use are the ones I can mainly share things in and find things by other people, be it music, gifts, memes, jokes, self-promotions and YouTube leaks. Well, it all just depends what your hobbies are and what is most important to you, right, Yorkshire? I mean, I'm in dozens of Discords. I barely use any of them myself, if I'm honest, because we're all busy. It's hard to check all the Discord channels. So, you know, it's what we're most into. And not everybody here is going to be a Raindrop Chronicles devotee or obsessor, you know. There's a few of you that are very into the world we're building here that I know you will be joining in regularly to check out what's going on and have a bit of input. But not every single person. We have 250 plus people in our Discord. You know, only 5% of you are regularly looking, maybe. I mean, I'm not sure the exact figures, but yeah, it would probably be a bit hectic if all 250 people were keeping an eye on things. I'd probably get overwhelmed and not get any game dev done. So in all honesty, the few of you that do get involved, it's probably easier and there's less clashing of sort of thoughts and opinions. So I kind of like the tight, close-knit thing we've got here. But you know, it's fun to see if people sort of get into it, by seeing this. Because one problem with the format we had so far with the 3-hour twice a week Twitch streams is that, you know, you have to come to the streams every single stream to sort of really keep up with what's going on here. I've had people message me and be like, oh, I really am interested in Raindrop Chronicles and I hope it's going well, but I have no clue what's going on, LOL and stuff. And that's totally understandable because it's almost really hard to keep up with the story and the lore when it's, you know, in the format of long streams. No one's going to sit through hours of VODs week in, week out to catch up. So I'm going with a more bite-sized, more easily digestible sort of set thing now with the YouTube vlogs and this Discord. I'm intending for all these read-only channels to really sum up our lore in really easily digestible bits, you know, so that anybody that reads and looks kind of gets an idea of it. They might not get the real in-depth stuff without delving into the lore Bible once everything's up, but they'll get the gist of the basics and enough to get involved and have a bit of a say. And some people really like that. They love having the sort of involvement in a RPG game like this, a lore-driven RPG, and not everyone prioritises that, and that's totally fine. Everyone's got different interests, but those of you that do, obviously it's fun, it's chill, and it's sort of fulfilling to talk about stuff and see a game get built and a story very gradually over time. On Yorkshire Pun, I've a ton of Discords I'm in, but only using a small few, yeah. The ones I'm in dozens, but I only keep an eye on 3 or 4 myself. But those 3 or 4 that I do look at, there's a reason for it. It's because I'm vastly, incredibly invested or whatever in that channel or that creator. So I want to keep an eye on their stuff. And, you know, so whoever is invested in Raindrop Chronicles will be the ones that regularly visit the Discord, but for sure not all 250 of you in here are going to do that, and thank goodness you don't, because I'd be overwhelmed if 250 of you were writing in these world building channels every day, because let's face it, that would be overwhelming, right? So, you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, folks. It'd be great to see new people come in and a bit of interest over time, but in all honesty, I'd like it's weird because you want people to know about the game and you want to see the community growth, but at the same time you don't want it to get to a stage where there's so many people that you're just swamped with questions and conflicting ideas either. So it's that battle of as a creator with what's best for your game and product. Sometimes the close knit is lovely, but at the same time you want more because you want the word of the game to get out there too, but you don't want it to get too wild because then the community collaboration becomes impossible. So how do you win? That's the question. Well, that is when you'd have moderators on the Discord to answer questions. Yeah, if that ever happened, I'd be getting some of you filling in application forms for sure. Okay, folks, so yeah, that's the start of the stream. We're starting like this, we'll see how it goes, folks, and it's very early days. I mean, we've not even got started yet, so it's almost impossible to say whether this system actually works right now, but we'll see. I'm not like rigidly attached to it if a few of us and we all like agree that it needs a reshuffle over time, but we'll give it a shot first. But what did you reckon about what Yorkshire said, folks, about the real life section? Do you think it should be moved to the top above the game stuff, or do you think it's better where it is? I want to see what like most of you say about that, because that was just my opinion, that maybe it's best that the game stuff's higher up because that's kind of what the Discord is, but I want to hear other opinions too. But yes, we'll talk about the role stuff now. We will go back to the categories and the content in the categories later in the stream, but I want to at least consider what we talked about last stream, which was the roles. So Google Docs. I always think general chat and real life should be in the same area. And if I was new, I might be a bit intimidated with all this. That's why I would think about having real life stuff near the top with funny GIFs and memes for people to see. Okay, so I'd consider like putting some of them in. I mean, I'm not sure about the meme thing because maybe I'm going to sound like a massive old person now, but I've never got the meme thing. I don't even get most memes. I'm like confused by that whole culture. So I couldn't see myself having something that I'm not really, I don't get myself. I'm just old, so that's why I don't get it. But you know, the things like the random snaps, the creative work, adorable pets, introduce yourself totally. The others that we've got here. The polls, I've put the polls higher because I want visibility for them when they get put up. I don't want people to have to scroll down for polls. And that's Raindrop Chronicles related, so it might feel a bit odd to be in with the other stuff, the real life stuff. That's the thing. We could always make a separate category for polls, but it could look a bit lost on its own. Or a general questions channel for folks who are new. Yeah, so, I mean, the chat thing is like just normal chat and any questions could go in there. But yeah, I mean, if we need to, if we want to be more specific, we could. You feel free to come up with some channel ideas, folks. and I'll think about it and potentially add some. It's kind of just thinking where polls would go. If I was going to bring this stuff up, it's kind of just thinking about where the polls would go then, because I don't think it would fit the polls with all these channels. Alright, so where is the Google Docs? Okay. Did I disconnect, folks? It says I'm back now. Well, I should be back anyway. It doesn't seem like there's any issues anymore. Don't know what happened then. Internet was still working, as far as I believe. Everything's still on. Right, so yes, I was just about to start talking about the Discord roles. So page break. So Discord roles, we'll call this one. Make this bigger. Okay, so one thought, thinking about just expanding on what Yorkshire said about feeling intimidated because there's not enough real life chat. Well, one thing I do want to say is that usually I think if anyone is going to join the Discord from this point forward, they are probably going to have an interest in Raindrop Chronicles to be joining, because when I do my YouTube vlogs and sort of show off video clips and screenshots that I does or whatever on social media, there's going to be a real emphasis on the game and the collaboration side of the game. So anyone that does join the Discord would have to have somewhat some interest, otherwise they wouldn't join. So I'm kind of skeptical that randoms would join at all, to be honest. So that's the only thing, right? So I'm still inclined to keep this stuff here and the real life stuff at the bottom because of that. But I'm not saying I'm attached to that. I might change my mind. I'm the sort of person that can change my mind over time if I see a good reason for it. Alright, so Discord roles. Right, so this is going to be fun. And let me know if I'm connected again, folks, because I did disconnect, and I am a bit wondering if I'm back. I think I am now. I've looked on Twitch and it says I'm back. Okay, so for roles, I mean, at the moment we have the blood drops, which are Twitch subs. We have legendary raindrops, which are the Twitch people who have the most stream currency, and then we just got raindrop. Lawmaster for the trivia winner. So what I was thinking of doing was having some sort of special roles. I don't know if special is the right word. But these would just be roles that people would keep as sort of, you know, to say they achieved it. Like for those of you community members that got a lot of raindrops or got into the Hall of Fame or won the trivia or whatever. They would just be a role that you'd keep there under your name. It wouldn't be like one of the main roles, but it'd just be there for like to say you did it. So I was thinking something like, here we go, we'll just list these ones first. For top 20 on the Raindrops leaderboard. So that's, you know, those of you that have got the most raindrops in the stream, so we can remember that those of you that did get all those raindrops, because it would be a shame in a way to sort of forget about that when people actually worked hard to grind those raindrops. And obviously we've got Lawmaster, which would go to the overall winner of the trivia, the person that won the most trivias that we had in stream, and that was obviously Van, because Van was very dedicated to that, and I think you deserve to keep that. And this other one could be community character for those of you that who submitted a character for the game, so that we know which those of you are community characters. Hi Richard, thank you so much for the 22 months. I appreciate the support, Richard. How are you doing? And hi Master Emerald, welcome back everybody. I did have a bit of a disconnect, not sure what happened, it was only for like 30 seconds. Looks like we're back and running fine. Very strange why that happened, but we're all good now. I again had to walk away immediately after I first said hi because the builders in the house. Oh no, not builders. Yeah, Chubb, you're probably in the Hall of Fame. Well, you are. It says you're number 8. So, let me just make... You still have time to get in the Hall of Fame if you're not in it yet, but... because there's still 2 streams left next week, so who knows, you could still get in. Just make sure you're lurking if you're just outside that number 20 spot. I want to highlight the roles. I'll make that capital and bigger. Okay, so those are special. So that's like, you know, for loyal community members that have achieved things in the stream and they want to sort of keep record of that. The community character thing, okay, so there's other things as well, like we'd have a Patreon role. I don't know if that would be classed as a special role. I suppose you could call it a supporter role. Supporter roles for now. I don't know if these will be the official names, but it's just so we can categorize them, so we know what type of role is what. So subs on Patreon, obviously that doesn't exist yet because the Patreon's not set up, but when it is, oh yeah, and there's obviously creator for me, no, Rose. That'll be my role. Builders in my bedroom yesterday, Rose, and non-hermit in my inner sanctum. I couldn't handle it. Oh my god, I would hate that too, Chubb. I'd hate that. GG for being number 8. Okay, now there's some other ones that were suggested in the last stream that I was really into that you guys brought up. I'm going to call this extra/fun roles. It was, who is your favourite character, but we'd only have the 6 barrel crew characters in this list, so this would be a reaction role. Where there'd be a channel where you get to actually say on a reaction which one you like most, and you can always change it too. Woody and Oliver. And obviously we'll get the profiles up, because not some people, especially if we have new people in the Discord, might not know these characters, but you will soon know, because once I start doing the Raindrop Chronicles vlogs, these characters will be mentioned plenty of times, so you'll soon be finding out, especially when a playable build gets released, of course, as well. Is there in everybody's faces, these characters, the mascots of the game. So that would be the name of the roles. You'd have Carol fan if you stand Carol. You'd be Hank fan if you stand Hank. So that was like a fun thing. And if anyone else has any ideas for fun roles, feel free to suggest, because that was something that was suggested in last stream, and I was like, yeah, that would be really fun. To know which of you like which character. Little Master VIP fan, I know. Van feels special now, I bet. Got a new window. Yay, GG for new window. Who's your favourite out of Woody and the other ones? LOL. There was another one I thought of. How like the level of how dedicated to Raindrop Chronicles you are. It's like another silly role. So things like Raindrop Chronicle, it would be like a rank system. Novice. If you could think of any folks, feel free to. I'm thinking of like someone who's new, and obviously this would be a reaction role as well. You get to say yourself how knowledgeable you are about the game, and I suppose that way, when we do talk about the world building, we sort of get an idea as well of how much people know about the game that way, and how much they feel they know about the game. Can't think of anything stronger than devotee. In a way, this would be like the Raindrop system, where you could be a tsunami, a wave, a drizzle, except this is your own self-ranking thing. Fan artist role, fanatic, yeah, so feel free to list some and we can always rank them in order. For the novice, I think it should be the first level, and something like that sounds like really obsessed as the top one, and then have a couple in between maybe. So we could call that one How Big a Fan of Raindrop Chronicles Are You? Something like that. Level 1. I don't know what level devotee would be. Level 4 or 5. And obviously we'll have more in between. I'm going to put blanks there ready. Feel free to give some feedback, folks, on if you think there's a good order, because I can't right now think of an appropriate second level one. Devotee feels like it could be the biggest one, the most obsessed, but maybe there's one that could be more obsessed still. You can have roles that long, can't you? I'm wondering if there's a character limit on roles now. Keanu Reeves. Yeah, but feel free to give thoughts, folks. Keep coming, because this is just a template at the moment. So they're the fun ones. Also, another role we could have that just come to mind is something like skill roles. This could be a reaction role too. There's going to be quite a lot of reaction roles. The only ones that wouldn't be reaction roles would be, you know, the special ones and the Patreon ones. Obviously, the Patreon ones they'd figure out the algorithm or whatever, who's a patron and who's not. But the Hall of Famer and Lore Master and community character ones I'll set manually myself when we do those. But these ones here will all be like reaction roles. So something like this would be like what your, like, if when it comes to the collaboration side of the game, what your thing is. So world builder could be one, story helper, artist assistant, maybe for anyone who might like to have a little bit, give a bit of feedback on that side. Now, game design nerd, code pro. So for any programmers, then I know who the coders are, so if I get stuck with books, I know who to ask. The other one is sound. I'm trying to think of a good word that'd go with that one. Sound. I was going to say sound pro, but I don't want pro there twice. I want another word for that one. Code pro might be better. There might be better. You guys might even have better names for these, but feel free to give your thoughts. Cannot think, because my two boys are bombarding me with questions of this game. Really, that's really cool. What are they asking? Bless them. I think the standard levels of expertise in a subject are novice, initiate, apprentice, journeyman, expert, and them. Oh, okay. That's actually quite good, Chubb. So, well, apprentice is great for a level 2 one. We won't have them all. We won't have master because we already sort of had the lore master role, which was part of the whole trivia sort of award for Van. But should we cut the devotee? I don't know if that's as strong as expert. Maybe we should just keep the 3 levels, unless you guys think we should add one of the others. Feel free to give your thoughts. I think sort of judging yourself on level 1, 2 and 3 could be fair. So if someone's a real newbie to the game, they'd say that. If they sort of know a bit, they'd say they're an apprentice. And if they think, yeah, I actually know quite a bit, they'd say they're an expert. What do you reckon? I feel like they're asking everything. They're excited to try this game. Oh, awesome. That's so cool, Kung. They obviously have good taste. So there we go. I'm going to look for other definitions, other words for pro, because I want sounds pro, but not pro, because we're going to use that for code. I don't want to use master because we've already used that word. So sound, something that sounds good with sound. Oh yeah, specialist. Veteran. Or we could have sound pro and code specialist. because then it actually sounds a bit more serious, like they're a coder that actually knows what they're talking about. Awesome job. There we go. I think these roles could be enough, but yes, we can work on adding them right now if we want. Cool. Thanks for the help. Job, you're awesome. Let's get them in then now. I think this is a good one, a good set that we've got. So, this Callbot, everybody. This is the thing that allows you to have reaction roles. So what I'm going to do first of all is server settings, roles. Let me just hide this. I don't know if there's any private stuff that comes up with Discord, in all honesty. I'm not sure. 1 minute. Probably feeling a bit paranoid, so I'll keep it on a secret screen for now, and you can just stare at this. Stare at the Google Doc, folks. We won't, I mean, at the moment we don't have a role for moderators, so I'm sort of wiping the slate clean there now that we sort of not going to be on the streams. Now it's all Discord, but we might have that role added in the future. And I'd do an application process to see who's willing to be them, but I don't know if we need them desperately right now. But we could in the future, you know. We might need to have them at some point. Integrations, Twitch, no, unsync, disable integration. It's going to be weird seeing an empty Discord. Change mine to creator. It hasn't changed yet though, strangely. Buy legendary raindrops. I mean, in a way, we're still having a sort of legendary raindrop thing, but it's the Hall of Fame instead, and obviously it's less. I think sometimes you need to wipe the slate clean because there's a lot of legendary raindrops that have not been active for like 2 years. So instead we're going to have a community character role actually, because then that's more relevant to the game, because there was a lot of legendary raindrops that actually didn't have characters, that haven't been around for a long time, so we'll stick so it's more relevant to the game. Okay. Oh no, so sad. You're gonna be in the Hall of Fame, Kung. It's gonna be top 20 in the Hall of Fame, and it looks like you've made it. GG. My favourite characters aren't on that list, yeah. I mean, who knows? We might extend that in the future, but right now we'll keep to the barrel crew to vote between. And if none of them are your favourites, then just pick your favourite out the group. Like who you'd pick if you had to, sort of thing. But you don't have to pick anybody. People don't have to react at all if they don't want, because it's a reaction roll. So if you're not even into any of them, you don't even have to react at all. So TY Res, yeah. My favourites right now are the legends and some of the community created ones. Oh, that's awesome that you like the legends and you like some of the community ones as well, yeah. Over time, we'll probably have that expanded to like 50 characters on the reaction thing. So it's like starting small, isn't it? And then we'll expand it over time as we develop them more. My favourite right now is Fiona Bookington. I think, oh really, you like Fiona? That's so cool. Yeah, I can see us adding because there's a few others on this list. We got Violet, Duncan, Nigel, Fiona and the Fruits. We might update it at some point to having them on, and as well as anyone else that gets introduced and created. I seem to be having some weather-related internet issues. Oh no, is the stream being silly for you, Matt? Oh no. All right, so we started from scratch, folks. The Discord. I mean, Van still has their Lore Master role, even though it's there if you click on the name. But we're going to start adding the Hall of Fame and the community character roles, and then we'll do the reaction roles, folks. So I'm excited. Create roll time. So I think I can show you this now. Let's get it in. So this one is the Hall of Fame. I mean, I've wiped the drop nights clear now, but we'll put it underneath drop nights still. Hall of Fame. Hall of Famer, because I'm kind of making it sound like a title. So the question is, which ones are we going to make show on the, like, what's going to be the primary colour that sticks out? I was thinking either the skill rolls or the extra fun rolls, or the Raindrop Chronicles Novice, Apprentice or Expert could be the ones that actually show as the, you know, in the bar at the side. It's about prioritising what the main thing. But it could be fun to prioritise those ones too, or these ones. I know, it's hard to choose. Maybe this one. We'll see. Because the Hall of Fame thing is just a side thing now, because it's something to like just show off and be like, I got in the top 20, but it's not like some of the you know, there's other things to prioritise in the sidebar probably. So there we go. We'll keep it as that. We'll make it maybe a deeper orange, I don't know. Save. Alright, so now I've got to go through the bottom, see who actually is in this Hall of Fame. Have you in chat? We'll do it in order. So I've got my bot up now. I'm not going to count me, of course. On other Discords, there's people who donate most, I think, are at top. Yeah, everybody does it different. I can be a little bit... I try not to although it's like great when people like financially support the project, because in a way we need that to be able to carry on with our dreams, like 100%. But I try not to like make it the be all end all, because I've had issues in the past where people think they can own me because they financially provide, which is a terrible situation to be in. I had a person, this was way before Raindrop Chronicles even begun, when I was a new streamer, like three and a half years ago. So hundreds of pounds someone donated to me over the months, probably close to £1,000 or more. Ended up being a massive controlling, manipulated psychopath who was stalking me. So it's kind of like, yeah. But my favourite legends are Yorasa and Halada, and my favourite community characters beyond my own right now are Radu and Mordecai for various reasons. Yeah, that's great. Mordecai's an interesting one, folks, because there was a couple, it hasn't been talked about on stream yet, but there was a couple of ideas for that character that really are quite amusing and a bit comic relief. So eventually, I mean, we haven't got him on this character list just yet, but we do have another section for characters that aren't in the game currently, but will be there in the future. And if there's any key points to mention about them, it can be listed here on the other channel, and I'll mention who's on there. Yeah, that's okay whatsoever. I'm sorry, everyone goes through that. I'm no exception. I think if you a content creator who puts yourself out, I think we've all experienced that from somebody at some point or another. So definitely I'm not any different to anyone else. Okay, so let's do this in order. Okay, so I'm going to do it in order of the Hall of Fame, folks. So Rex has got the most. In fact, to make this easier on ourselves, let's actually get this written up. On a doc, just so it doesn't get confusing. Oh gosh. So we're going to make a bullet point list, and we're going to have the top 20. But by the end of the game, there will be several others who I'll find very interesting. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Now, the question is, if somebody in the top 20 Hall of Fame is no longer on the Discord, what are we going to do then? Are we going to take it to the next person on the list? Because I'm pretty sure some of these folks have sort of moved, you know, it's been years. They were in my stream in the very early days. So that's the question. For those that are no longer part of the community or in the Discord, do we pass it on to the next person on the list, or do we just pretend that they don't exist? How are we going to do this? And then we just have a top 15 instead of a top 20 or something. This is all the order. I'm looking at the bot right now. Wow, Met, you just made it. Number 20 for that. Alright, so let's see what you guys have said. Chop his head off. My fave differs by the mood, but it's, yeah, and you can change it. That's the good thing about reaction rolls. If you have a change of heart and you don't like that character anymore and you like a different one, you can just like switch. As for the other roles, I remember Chub Cheeks wanted a villain's role. Yeah, so if we wanted to do an extra fun role for like, what is your alignment, and we just have chaotic, neutral, or I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be related to Raindrop Chronicles. If we do something like that, as in who's a villain, who that can just be you as in real life. It can be judged on. I mean, because for someone like Chub Cheeks, his character in the game, we don't necessarily want to make him be tied to being a villain. He might have a character arc where he redeems himself, for all we know. So it's probably better not to tie things like alignments and too heavily to the community characters, because then we'll feel restricted and that we don't have the freedom to sort of pursue a character arc for them. Not saying that he would be a good guy, Chub. At this stage, we don't even know. That's the point. But it's nice to sort of keep an open mind, because you just never know where the story's going to take us. How many of those folks are active? I don't recognise all the names. Yeah, like, as I said, loads of them have been around. They were religiously in the stream before the days of Raindrop Chronicles. And they've sort of left Twitch. They've moved on from the whole entire platform, or their schedules have changed. They've got jobs now when I stream, all sorts of reasons. So because of that, there's about a handful of people on this list that I'm pretty sure are no longer in the Discord. And the question is, are we going to just, in that case, extend it to the top 25, if that's the case? If there's 5 gone, do we pass the Hall of Fame to the next 5 people on the list? Or do we just keep the list even smaller if that's the case? I'm curious what the community think here. Feel free to give feedback. Chaotic chaos. No, the whole Reptile redemption arc is too cliche. My character is evil to the end. Fair enough. It might so happen that he is evil to the end. Could work. But I don't know, your character, he likes hamsters. I think there's a bit of a sign of a soft side in that character, despite his chaotic, villainous ways, which is interesting because it adds a bit of layers to a character when you can see hints of a softer side despite them being pure vile. I think there's moments for bonding with that hamster, personally. And you want to be the permanent evil resident, the hamsters whisper to him, give him evil ideas. Joke. I think it's a good idea as an extra fun role to have something like, and we'll put this one first actually. What is your alignment? Just to stick with the whole RPG theme, because this is an RPG Discord and an RPG game that we're building and well building together here, so we could sort of give a shout out to the D&D alignments here and have them all, and you just assign yourself one as a person. So what are they all? So lawful good, lawful neutral, lawful evil, true, neutral. Tell me if I'm getting them wrong, by the way, and if I've missed any, because I'm not like a true expert at this. Sometimes I have to look at a chart. Chaotic good, chaotic neutral, chaotic chaotic evil. And we can get an idea of the community's personality there. And okay, so can there be individual roles for the character you've created, like for me, Asharu? So we do have a community character overall special role for those who have submitted a character. But if we want to be more specific about it, we can just have it as an actual name, like have your character's name as an actual tag. If we want to just edit that role to have the name. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we should just call it? Because I think it might actually be better to actually have a role for the character. As long as there's not a limit to Discord roles, because otherwise it could get, whoa, there's a lot of roles there for the characters. But it could be a good idea, because then it becomes clear what character you've submitted. You missed, neutral. I thought there was 2 more neutrals. So lawful good, lawful, here we go. So neutral good. And neutral evil. Cool, there's 9, isn't there? So there we go. Wow, this is going to be fun. So now we've done the Hall of Famers, I'm going to just get those of you with your role now in the Discord. We'll just get the reaction bot set up as well. That'd be awesome, and then you guys can start reacting today then. So Hall of Famer. Just look through the list. So we've done Rex. Tetsu. I'll tell you at the end how many are missing. Because it feels right to round it to 20, say, even if, like, say if there's 4 that have left the Discord in this 20, then it feels only right to add 4 more so that there's actually 20 with that role in the Discord. Van is next. Chub after that. Say hi to new shiny orange roll, you guys. Beard, who popped in yesterday. Or I mean last week, should I say? I think it was last week actually. Kung gets 1. Cannon. Mr. Rado. Met. Okay, so how many do we need to fill in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's 5 missing. I had a feeling that it would be 5. So in that regards, we're gonna go for the next 5. So we can round it up to 20, and then it's like a proper Hall of Fame. And it feels a bit odd not having some of the Hall of Fame missing. Some of those roles were black. I mean, roles show some purpose other than just fun. Yeah. So we do some meaningful roles here. We've got the skill role one, which is you can react if you feel you're more of a world builder, a story helper, an artist assistant, a game designer, a sound pro, or a code specialist. So the skill roles will be particularly handy because then we get to know who in the Discord specialises where and where they feel they help most. Also, the how big a fan of Raindrop Chronicles are you? Although that's fun, it's actually quite good to have that role because then we can kind of see who is how much they know about the game as well. And I guess it's sort of wrong in that we're using our own alignment system instead of D&D's. As for character roles, if they're only for one person each, it might be easier to just put the character name in our nicknames for the server. Oh yeah, you can give nicknames, can't you? If that's the case, you could do that. So, I mean, what do you guys reckon? Because not everyone would probably use the nickname feature off their own back. Whereas if we sort of give the role, then they'll definitely get it then because I'll give it them. So, if the people who had a PC mode had individual roles, you would be able to find them easier for questions, and others who would see who they were. Yeah. I mean, if I can give them a nickname myself, then I could, but is that something that could get messed up? Just wondering if the nickname feature is something I could make use out of there for that, or whether we should just stick to having a unique role. And I guess we're sort of wrong in that we're using our instead of D&D's. What do you mean by that, using our own alignment system instead of D&D's? I mean, we could always change that if we want. But this is just purely for fun, a real life sort of thing, not anything to do with the characters. Okay, so let's see who's next on the list, because we need 5 more of you to fill the Hall of Fame. Oh wow, it's Master Emerald. That's cool. I'm glad we're extending it now because Master Emerald gets to be in. Let me just check, because there's someone who's next, but I don't know if they're still in the Discord, so let me look. No. So I'm going to just go through the ones that I know are definitely in the Discord. So Binary Ferret. Okay. And there we go. Awesome. I think that rounds up our Hall of Fame quite nicely. Hi Dave, how you doing? It's good to see you. 'Cause I mean, people don't have alignments, not really. Actions can be grouped into lines where people take different actions, different circumstances, morality, pretty fluid. Hi, unstable, how you doing? Yeah, so do you think we're silly having that? Do you think we should delete this and not have it then, or adjust it? Because I thought it was pretty cool, like, you know, Chub Cheek says he'd like to click being a villain, so I thought, yeah, if he wants to do that, we'll do an alignment for fun, but it seems people are sort of seeing it as flawed now, so I don't know, getting all confused. The only problem we can all some of us wants it, but then others don't. So, okay, so I'm going to add the rest of you. And then Hall of Fame is done. There you go, 20 people. So there's a few of you who weren't in the top 20 that have managed to make it, but that's because other people left the Discord. So you got the spot instead. Awesome. So there's a few of you with orange rolls now because of that. But you will eventually get coloured rolls if you use the reaction bar, and that will overtake it. So, I meant that in Raindrop Chronicles our alignment acts as a good, evil, brave, cowardly, clever, foolish, or was that the last one, serious / silly? It's wise and foolish actually, so close. And in that, I do know what met means actually, because it might be smarter to actually adjust it around to what the hero can be in Raindrop Chronicles, because we aren't using D&D alignments in the actual game. Your hero, the protagonist, the person you act as in Raindrop Chronicles, can be shaped with a moral system. It's not a black and white moral system though, because it is adjustable. Just because you might be a brave or foolish hero, or a cowardly evil hero, or a good clever hero in the game, at some point you can make decisions that make you be different throughout the game. It's kind of going to be that sort of moral system. So maybe it'd be cool to base it on that, like just for funsies. So, I mean, should we change the word alignment? I think the concept could, but maybe those are particular words are a bit loaded. Yeah, you want me to end your villainy, don't you? I think the fine words are very loaded, but I'm a moral relativist. Do we have any heroes among us? Yeah, should we do what Met suggested? I think Met's on the right track there. So we're not going to use the D&D terms because it's nothing to do with Raindrop Chronicles, really. It's best to stay relevant. So, but I don't think alignment's the right word. What is your... We need another word. So feel free to suggest a better word. I can't think right now. But good, evil. We did suggest changing the words good and evil because we felt there was a bit strong. It's not so much evil, it's more like... I can't think of the right word right now, I really can't, but it's always hard to sum it up because good and evil can be very black and white. Brave, coward, wise, foolish, but it's whether we have the 6 reactions. I mean, you can't be both. That's the only problem with this one. You can't pick both good and evil, or brave and coward, or wise and foolish. You can only pick one or the other. So maybe we could have 3 separate reaction rolls. where we split them, and that way you can only react with one. So good evil for that one, brave cow for that one, because this is the Raindrop Chronicles way. So this way we're staying consistent with the game, which makes more sense. And because, you know, you're going to be playing as a hero in the game, if I wasn't retired, I'd come down from a mountain and put a boot up your arse, lol. Disposition, predisposition, flavour of the day. Yeah, so because we're splitting it into 3 now, we need compassion. It's hard because or we can just have it simple, where it just are you, and then you just tick the one you are. If we want to just simplify this, that's probably at its most simple. And yeah, some people, there's a, you know, there's a spectrum here. You don't necessarily have to be one or the other. You can be in between, but how would we word that? Like, because this is a role here, we can't exactly have somewhere in between as the other option, because that will show up as a role and it'd make no sense. So it needs to be a strong enough wording to make sense as a role. We could even have it so it's makes more sense in context, because then it would show up as a sort of phrase. But feel free to give feedback, because this is a work in progress and we might think actually we'll change the word into that and be cooler like that. But this is just the early thoughts with that one. Maybe a scale, yeah, because it's hard to do a scale for a reaction roll on Discord, because well, for any rolls on Discord, because they're very black and white in their nature, that it's just a title that comes up under your name. So really it is a word that's going to show up. The scale, yeah, if only what they did have a scale, it'd be pretty fun if they did, and it actually showed up visually in the profile. That'd be awesome. It'd be really cool if it allowed us to do some of that detail, but sadly it won't. So it is in nature a bit of a black and white thing, this one, but how else can we do it? Because it is fun to put the moral thing in. It's just a fun extra roll. We don't have to take it seriously and go like, you know, it's just for a bit of fun, really, just to be playful and silly together. The game itself is obviously not going to be that black and white, because there is a spectrum in the actual game. Shouldn't it be I'm a cow? Oh yeah, typo. There we go. Or we can have it as cowardly, because it feels a bit weird having that be the only one with an A. So I just add the ly. Compassion, valor, sag. Oh, okay. We could always word it like that if we want to ask it as a question. Maybe if it forces us to ask as a question, we could do that. But I think the reaction rolls might just let us type it like that. Cowardice and now, or I'm cowardish. Yeah, what's the right term? Is it cowardly or cowardish? Sometimes I don't know and I have to double check. Lazy or eager, yeah. So, I mean, if we wanted to sort of, I mean, if there was a way to turn it into a scale in a clever way with words, I'd be up for that, but I can't think off the top of my head. Because ultimately each one needs to make sense on its own in context, because otherwise people would click someone's name in the Discord and be like, what's that role? What's... So that's it. So, but with that, it's pretty clear, you know, you'd see that in, you click on the Discord, oh no, yeah, they're foolish. Cool, they're a foolish person. Awesome. Maybe alternates of good evil could be caring / vindictive. Yeah, that's it. I've always had a thought of rewording good and evil to other words to describe them, because the only problem with good and evil is they are, in nature, do come across as very black and white, you know, but it does sort of stand as a compassion scale, this one, deep down. More popular term, cowardice is actually obsolete of cowardly. Interesting, I was taught cowardice. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Words, the English language is confusing. We could even have heroic for the good, like your typical good hero, but what's the opposite of heroic? Someone who goes down a dark path, well, villain's the opposite of her. I'm villainous. I mean, we could go down that road. I mean, Chubb would get his dream then, because that was what he wanted all along, to put villainous in his profile. What do you reckon, guys? I'm trying to think of accessible words here. I mean, sometimes the descriptive words sound really cool, but something that's, like, you know, quite simplified to use in game for our moral scale is probably cool. Give Chubbs the dream. Yeah, we'll word it like that then. And the heroic and villainous scale, at the end of the day, it's a spectrum. It's not everyone in reality in the game, when it'll come to making choices. No one's going to be 100% heroic and no one's going to be 100% villainous. Everyone's going to fall somewhere in between on the scale, and that's what's going to make it interesting, especially when mixed in with the brave, cowardly, wise and foolish scales as well. It gives this interesting combination of different hero types. So it's pretty fun, and yeah, so we'll keep like that for now, for fun, because I think it's just a fun little role. We don't have to take it seriously. We know it's more in depth in the actual game. Okay, so there we go. We did the Hall of Fame bit. So let's have a quick look at our Discord now. We've got plenty of time still. We're not in a rush. So what should we do now? I'm gonna actually, because we've done that, I'll strike those ones through. Format text, strike through, so we don't get confused. We know we've done them. Vans, can't find Van on here. Are you online, Van? I want to just make sure you've still got your other role and I didn't accidentally remove you. You must be online. There you are. Yeah, you've got it. You got the Lord Master still. Cool. So yeah, cross that off. I should have creator as mine. Yep. So everyone knows I'm the one that makes the game. Community character. Now, I'm going to leave that one for now because I was thinking of giving an individual role to each of the community characters with the actual character name in the as a role. Now, I do think Matt did mention you can give nicknames in Discord, but I think, can we do that as the visible to every server? Do not change unless you're enforcing a naming system or clearing a bad nickname. Can the person delete the nickname if I give it them? I'm gonna just test it. I'll do it on Rex because I know he won't mind. Change nickname. Rex. going on? Where's he gone? I'm confused. Has it completely... Oh, it's changed his actual name, which I don't know if I want that. I think it's cool that you guys can still keep your Discord names, because it could get confusing if I'm called Violet, for example. I don't want to be called Violet. I want to be called Rose Rainblood, but I would love to have a Violet role, for example. So in that regards, so I thought the nickname thing was a separate thing and it came up underneath their Discord name, but it doesn't. Okay, so yeah, I'll work on getting that role after, because that's a more long and winded one. We'll do the reaction roles on stream. The Patreon is obviously a role that's going to come later because we haven't set the page up yet. Now, these are all the reaction roles now, these last ones, so we should get those in because that'll be fun. Okay. Maybe for fun roles, favourite races. Yeah, which ones do you stan? We could totally go overboard on favourite characters, favourite things, and I think over time we could do that. But for now, we'll stick to just your favourite barrel, but I'll keep that in mind for extending it further. Because we could even have choose your favourite legend in the Pantheon, you know, that could be another one we have. So we could totally have more of those. Vote for your favourite things and it'll appear as a role. We could have who do you worship, and then it's got the name of the legends, and you click who you worship and it'll have Lusar worshipper or whatever as your role. But obviously it'd be cool to have the actual Pantheon articles and descriptions up, so everyone actually knows who they are for when that comes up. You could work around it by adding the character name in brackets after their Discord name, like Rose, Rainblood, Violet, or Vandalia. Yeah, I guess we could. The only hot problem is if we get put that much attention on it, we might get in a situation where the character becomes the person, and that we might feel like we'll lose ownership of the character and flexibility with the rules. I really want to avoid, if we can, getting into the complication where, say, some of us, a group of us together, come up with an amazing story arc for one of the community characters, and we're like, that's perfect, that's amazing, and then the person that submitted the character is like, no, can't do that to my character, and we're like, oh, but that'd be great for the story, and we feel like we're being sort of limited creativity because someone submitted a form for them, but they don't technically own them, we do, the community, me and the rest of us. So it's like, I try and want to avoid myself getting into a situation where the person actually owns the character. And don't get me wrong, it's nice to have the role to say this person submit the character, but I'm not, part of me feels a bit unsure about having it in the person's name. I don't know, it might feel a bit too much. In your submission, people who submit should have been aware of that. Yeah, I just kind of want to avoid it because it would totally suck all the enjoyment out of the project for me, and if something like that happened. What's better, a wise fool or a foolish wise man? Yeah, which one is better? Be cool to have the legend fans. Yeah, we should definitely have the legend one. So, I mean, we could do it. I'll think about how to do it, because some people actually have the same name as the character. Like someone like Rex actually is Rex. Someone like Vagabond is actually called Vagabond, for example. So it could feel a bit redundant having their name and then another name in brackets. So I'm still considering the role thing, but we'll say. There's a few directions to go with that character thing. Any of them can honestly work, but I need to sort of mull over it because I'm unsure right now. Okay, so reaction roll. Let's get on with it. Carlbar, here he is. Look at that cute little turtle. So, I'm just going to hide the screen because I don't know what's going to come up when I log in. Authorize. You could do that with brackets for those who don't have their names with characters. Yeah. We'll say. It would certainly be easier to do it that way than it would to make a role for every single one, because that would take up a lot of role space. You know, the roles would be going off the page, but I don't know if there's a role limit. There we go. Authorize. So everyone is just going to be in the section called members. Currently that's how, oh no, we're going to use one of them as the key thing that shows up in the sidebar for sure. I was just mulling over which one would be best in the sidebar. If we get this up again, because I was thinking either, I mean, any of them could work in the sidebar. Having the skill roles in the sidebar where we see the list of world builders, the list of story, could totally work. But so could having, you know, Raindrop Chronicles expert, apprentice or novice. That could work in the sidebar as well. We could even have the character favourites in the sidebar for what it all this one. You know, we could go any direction we wanted. I guess we'd want to go whatever makes the most sense and is the most important and relevant. So I'd say with what's most relevant, really. I was tempted to go for that one so we could see who are the biggest Raindrop Chronicles super fans. I mean, we could change expert to super fan because it might sound a little bit less egotistical. I don't know. What do you reckon? Okay, so let's get him in. So this is the guy. This is the bot that's going to help us with our reaction roles, because we need a bot for this. None. I don't think we need to. I think we can. Is he in the bot? Is he already in? Let me just check the Discord, because I did watch a tutorial for this. Where's our bot? He should be here. Yes, he's there. So I'm going to add him to the bot roles just so that's neat and tidy. I can delete, I can kick some of these bots. I don't even use them anymore. So, welcome, Carlbot. Okay, so help. Pardon me. I'm gonna have to get that tutorial video up again because I forgot the command that I meant to use. It's really easy once you start. It's just remembering what that command is that actually lets you sell the reaction. Right, I'm going to YouTube video up to help me along with this. Do you reckon we should make a new channel called Roles? Or should we just add it to the information channel? could add it as an addition. Yeah, I mean, I know we could add a I'm being indecisive now. Let's add roles. Just say. Because we're having a lot of reaction roles now, I'm thinking about it, and we're going to add more, like which legends do you follow. It's potentially going to get very over the top, this role reaction thing, over time, as there's more lore, so that everyone can vote for what they are and what the favourites are. I'm thinking we should have an actual role channel up here, so because it's just going to get confusing and people won't find the roles otherwise. So we just need a good emoji to sum up role. Maybe a star. I don't know what else would suit it, in all honesty. So, roles, put it there. Discord roles, I don't know. If anyone has any thoughts for a better name that makes more sense, feel free to say. We'll keep it like that for now. But this is where the reaction roles are going to go, everyone. I'm hyped. We'll get this done before we end stream today as well, at least for the ones we've already done. And there is, obviously, there's so much more potential to add more in the future, which is what I think it's worth making a channel for this one. Okay, so I've got this tutorial up. Rolls rain blurred, lol. Okay, so it should be question mark react role make. That's what this tutorial says anyway. So hopefully that's correct. We can do that in this channel, I believe. Let's see if it works. Carlbot says, hello, which channel would you like the message to be in? We would like it to be in roles, please. All right, the channel is roles. What would you like the message to say? Use a thingy to separate the title from the description. You can also type roles to have it replace the list of each emoji in its associated role. Okay, so let me just think. So this should be easy. We just copy the title. So which one should we start with? Probably start with the are you. Then maybe how big a fan of Raindrop Chronicles are you? Then who's you? Then, or maybe start with the skill roll, actually, and end with the characters the last one, because then when we start adding more characters in the future and need to edit that, it's not going to mess that up, maybe. Or won't look weird or in a weird order. So, what? Thinking of a title for this one now, because I didn't actually put one. What are you? Yeah, what are you? That's the simplest there, isn't it, really? So, what are you? Oh, we don't even need that as a title. I wonder if it'll let us just have a description. But react to each message with the roles you want, because it makes more sense just explaining what that is, really. I hope this lets us edit it if we change our mind on what we want it to say. There. Alright, I got title and description. What would you like the message have a colour? Respond with a hex code or none to skip. None. Alright, the message will look like this. Next up we will add roles. The format for adding roles is emoji, then the name of the role. When you're done, type done. Okay, so we're doing this one first. So world build is the first one. And obviously for world builder, we're gonna have a world emoji. Do we have to put in the colon or format name of the role? I'm wondering if we have to put the colon in or whether we can actually get away with putting that. Let's see. I couldn't find a role with the name world builder. The format is emoji role. And make sure the role actually exists. Oh, we have to make the roles first, damn it. Okay, so that makes sense. So server settings, roles, create role, world builder. No wonder it didn't work. So what colour should we give this one for world builder? I hope I can change the colours after if I change my mind, because I'm the sort of person that does. Okay, I'm actually going to give the colours what the colour cards are on my YouTube actually for the playlists. It makes more sense and is more consistent that way. But that means I'm going to use orange for world builder. So I'm going to change the colour of the Hall of Fame just a touch, maybe to more of a gold, so it's not the exact same. So we'll use a deep orange. So I'm going to just put these here. Let me change that. I'll change that to that. That's better because then it's not the same one. Okay, so that's world builder. Now a new role. The next one is story helper. And that would be a green. actually. Let me get a colour picker up because I've got the colours, the actual colour codes for this somewhere. Because on my YouTube, I don't know who's noticed, but I have like playlists where I've categorised streams based on what we've done in the stream. And I've used, you know, made the playlist different colours to sort of make them distinct from each other. And I know that the world building streams are orange and the story ones are green. So because of that, I want to use the same colours. So there we go. That's a nice green. Can you see the Discord, folks? I can't see it at my stream at the moment. I don't even know if it's showing. Hope it is. Yeah, it is. Cool. Now the world builder one is that. Now another role. This one is going to be artist assistant. Now I put art and sound under one playlist actually, and I've got 2 different roles for each of these, so I'm going to just make them do 2 different purples if I have to. I'll make this one more of a view, yeah, more of a that sort of purple, make the sound one a deeper purple maybe. Okay, now the game design nerd role. Would be a blue. Then what's after that? That's the Sound Pro is after that. So that one is and last but not least, code specialist. I'm looking forward to see what you guys think you're good at with when it comes to the game dev skill set. It'll be cool to know who's good at what, because then that helps us all, doesn't it? A lot of us might not know that Van, for example, is an artist. Some of you might be coders and I might not even know. So there we go. Save. I'll decide at the end which ones are going to be displayed separately in the sidebar. I haven't made my mind up yet which one. I don't know whether to use these ones or make it more focused on the actual game, Raindrop Chronicles, and the characters for what we show off in the sidebar. Okay, but now they're done. You took too long, goodbye. Excuse me, Carl Bot. Talk about being impatient. Look at this impatient bot here. You took too long, goodbye. No, how rude. I see story helping green. I know which ones I'm good at, but I can't have more than one dot next to my name. Yeah, that's the thing. I believe you'll be able to assign yourself with as many roles as you want, but only one is going to show up. So I'd advise you to, the colour that you want to show up be the one that you like the most and you think you're best at, I guess. But I don't even know if that's going to be the colour we'll have on the sidebar yet, so it might not even be a problem, because we might not go for that being the sidebar stuff. I'm thinking of actually having Raindrop Chronicles Novice, Apprentice and Super Fan as the stuff on the side, and then the Super Fans would be the ones higher up. Then the Apprentice would be the next ones, and then the Novices would be below that, and then the members would be below that. I'm thinking of approaching it in that way, because then that feels the most relevant, but it's still nice to have all the other roles to see when you click on your name, for example. But you can't have everything be in the sidebar, because then it gets all messy and chaotic. So it's thinking about just what makes the most sense. And Raindrop Chronicles, I want to show off the Super Fans. So yeah. Okay, so Cobalt, we need to bring you back. How dare you, Mr. Turtle? I was in the middle of making this reaction roll, you just walk off. Okay, so we'll dig in. Rolls. How did we word this? This is a test, this one is, because I don't know how this is gonna look. Okay, so world for world building. I want an actual globe though for the world build. It's not that one. World to Earth. There we go, Earth. World builder. Can we at the roll? How do you at the roll? There we go. Yay! Yay, it worked. Okay, so Story Helper was the next one. So story book. Yay! Story Helper is going to be there now. What order is my YouTube plays? World build, character, story, game design, art. Okay, so we'll have the game design first, then the art, then the sound, then the code, because I think art and sound make sense together actually. So what would be good for game design? Nerd. What was the icon I used on my YouTube playlist? Like a tool thing, maybe. Game design nerd, then artist assistant, paint, brush, I guess. Sound pro, music. And then code specialist is a good programmer emoji. Computer, tech, that one. Why isn't a tick going by that one? Oh, thank you, Cobalt. Now, done. There's a limit of 250 reaction rolls then. I'm sure that we won't need as many as that, but who knows. Hey, Cobalt, you've done it wrong. You meant to actually put... Maybe I've done it wrong. This was just a test. What's missing is that we actually need the list, because most people aren't going to know what these mean. So ignore that for now, folks. We're going to start again and do it right. I'm new to this, but once we've done one and I get it, it'll be way easier to do the others then. So try again. Which challenge I want message to be in? Roles. At least it went in there though. It went in the channel, so that the hard bit's done. Okay, I think I get why it went wrong. I think we meant to do it here. That's why. Where it's got description. Let's hope this works because I'm a bit skeptical. Will it work if I copy these? Oh, it has. That was nice. None. Oh, are you really going to show up like that, Carlbot? I'm going to just test this because I don't want it showing up like that. Yeah, we don't want you. Now, to figure out how to make it show up properly now, okay, so again, roles. It's going to be well worth it when it works because it's going to be so fun to have this and see you guys pick yours. Maybe try it with the thing this time because I want to have the app there. I like seeing the actual role and colour. I don't just want to type them out. Yay, that worked. Okay, so now we can done, done, done. Done. There you go, folks. So if anyone is here right now in chat, anyone hanging out and watching this, if you're in the Discord, you can try this out yourself right now. You can try reacting on these and see if it works and if you get a colourful, if you get the role. I'm going to try it out myself. Okay, so it's made me, if I click on all of them, I have all the roles then. Obviously I'm going to put members below it because at the moment all these are at the bottom, so I'm going to move them higher. But it's, how cool is that to see all those roles in your name, folks? The ones that you feel you are or that you're best at. You're totally welcome to click more than one if you think you've got a few things you're good at. Or you can just click the one that you think you're best at the most. Awesome, guys. So click your name and you'll see that you're there. where do they show up with your name? Yeah, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go on roles, and I'm gonna have to move the members one at the bottom. We want members at the bottom really, because that's not as special. And the Carlbot has to be above them. I'm going to put Hall of because I want the colours to show up for you guys on these. So we'll put that one there. So let's see if it works if we do it like that. Why are the bots high up? The bots are the highest now. Let's sort that out. Members. Oh no, roles. Where are we there? Roles. Bots, you're going lower. We don't want you higher than us. I don't know why I have a Twitch staff role. I think there was someone in the Discord once that worked for Twitch, that's why. But they're not in it anymore, probably. I doubt it. Carlbot needs to be there though, I think, because it won't work otherwise. There we go. So if you've reacted, folks, you should have a colourful name. If you haven't reacted, you'll still have your Hall of Fame colour. So at least you still got a colour. Those of you that reach the top 20 of the Raindrops will have the Hall of Fame role. But if you react, then you get that colour override. That obviously it can only be one colour, but when you choose your favourite barrel and all that, and choose your thingy-majig, like what, how big a fan of Raindrop Chronicles are you, then that colour will override that still. So. And then those colours will be the ones in the sidebar probably. We'll see. I've got to experiment and see what works, because there's a load of new things here. So awesome, folks. I see some of you have been reacting. Should we get the other reactions in now, because there's more to do, like we're not over yet. So I don't think I qualify in either happy-go-lucky and to roll right. Yeah, not if you feel, or anybody who feels like they don't really want to be in any of these, that's fine. It's totally optional reacting here, but it's simply for the purpose of like kind of knowing people's skill sets, if they sort of feel they're good at some of these things, and it's for fun. We don't have to take it super literally. You don't have to have a degree in the thing or anything, but it's kind of so we get an idea of who's good at what. And you are a story helper though, Kung. You've helped tons in the story, so you'd definitely be that. Thanks, Carl. Yay! Thanks, Carl, for helping us add that, for not saying goodbye to us this time. Alright, so are we ready to add the next one? We'll do this one now. See how this one goes. So I'm just going to copy and paste everything because it's easier. So which channel would you like the message to be in? Roles. What would you like the message to say? I don't think we need that because we've already said that. So We don't even need, oh yeah, we do. We need, I hope this works. We'll delete it if it gets messy though. We'll see. I think we need to put the line to show that this is the description and not the title. So fingers crossed that this actually works. But I'm heroic. We need to make, oh gosh, we need to make the actual rolls. I keep forgetting to make the actual rolls. Okay, so what colours for these, because we want these to be a bit different. We could use all the same colour for this one if we want. Unless we can think of a good colour scheme for it that aren't the same colours that we've already used. But eventually run out of colours, that's the problem. So maybe we should just give this roll all one colour. Because you'll see what they are when you click on the name anyway. Red. I mean, can you have white rolls? I don't even know. I'm getting all indecisive about colours now because I really fuss over things like colours. I have to spend ages thinking of them. So I'm curious if it lets me edit them. Let me just do a test for pure curiosity. I'm going to just randomly change this code specialist one to a bogey green, a bright bogey green. And just see if changing it updates it and rolls. It does. Perfect. So if that's the case, Met gave themselves code specialist. Let's click on Met's name. Yes, perfect. So if I get indecisive and want to change the colours about, because I regret picking certain colours for certain ones, I can totally do that and it updates it automatically. Thank you, Carl Bob, you're a legend. But I am going to change it back to the grey because that was sort of the colour I used for the techie side of things on my stream. Server settings, roles, oops, code specialist. Let me get the colour picker. Save. That's a relief because I was a bit concerned that if I picked a colour I'd have to keep it forever, but luckily no. So for now, because I know I can change the colours, I don't have to fuss over what colour these are, which is great. So I'm going to just keep them white for now, and off stream when I get a bit more time after dinner, because we are surprisingly coming toward the later half of the stream. I'll colour them in over tomorrow or something. So I'm heroic as one roll. I'm villainous. Gotta make sure it's spelled right. I'm brave and cowardly. What are the others? I've forgotten, my mind's gone blank. Wise and foolish. There we go. Save. So, how's this good? We've got to split these into 3 sections because otherwise people... Oh, Carbot really doesn't wait long for us, does he? Right, this is a test, this one is, because I want to see how it shows up. So, hero. Not that angel, I want the, I have to scroll all the way to the bottom to see the emotes. Where's smiley face emotes? Whoa, so much scrolling. Okay, angel. I typed in angel and it didn't even show up. There we go. Oh, it's called innocent that way. That's why. I'm heroic. Oh, no, we need the app for the role. That's correct. Evil. No, where is the evil devil emoji? Is it called devil? No, it's not called devil. It's called imp, isn't it? Oh, goodness. It's called imp of all things. I see that as evil. There we go. So, this is just a test. I want to see if it works. Don't take it seriously right now, because I think this might come up wrong, so I want to test it. And if it doesn't, then I know it's perfect and we can just do exactly that again. Done. Cool, so it'll only let you pick, well damn, it lets you pick both. It's telling you that you can be a contradicting hero. No. I don't know if Coldbot is clever enough to only let you pick one. But that's a question, I'm curious now. Imagine if someone picks them all, it defeats the point. I mean, if we can't do that, then there's no big deal, but it would be nice if it only let you pick one. See doc. I'm gonna go to the doc and see, because I'm sure there might be a setting. I'm gonna Google it as well. Coldbot force only one reaction roll. I guess having both could distinguish people who are choosing to be neutral from the people who just didn't pick. That's true. Yeah, I mean, we could just leave it and keep it. If there's nothing we can do, then we can just have it, because it's no big deal. Because I'm not sure if it's intelligent enough to make you only pick the one. So there we go. We'll just put them all in. Did it work? No, I deleted it, didn't I? We'll do it again then and add them all in. It shouldn't take long to do this now. Now we know it's worked. So roles. I mean, now that we know that, we might as well put them all in the same one, right? What do you reckon? Now it does it, because the only reason I was going to separate them into three is because they could only pick one or the other. But now I'm thinking, let's just put them all in one. All six. The heroic, villainous, wise, foolish, brave, cowardly. We'll put all six together. which channel? So roles, and so what was the next one? Brave, cowardly. So I think it was a triumph amount for brave. Cowardly was because I actually used emojis, funnily enough, for the moral scale when I was doing them on the dialogue boxes. So I remember which ones I used. And it's a good suggestion, Matt. I'm glad that you mentioned doing it this way instead of the D&D alignments, because it's far more appropriate to our moral scale in the game. It was the monocle one for wise. And for foolish, it was it the zany one? Yeah. I think a foolish hero would be really fun to play, no matter what the variables of the others are. Just the foolish one combined with heroic could be fun. There we go. All right. No, I don't want a colour. None. Now we're adding the roles. So heroic one, villainous one. Get ready, guys, to vote for these because it's coming up. It's going to be in the roles channel any second. Done. It's cool that they allow you to have as many as 250 though, because that, you know, that will really allow us to have loads over time when we add more characters to this thing. Oops, we have to delete that one. Cool. But those colours might change. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to have a mess around with colours off stream because I'd be forever messing with colours and I'd go over time and I wouldn't get the roles in. So say if I click that one, I would have the I'm heroic role. Yay. I want to put it before members though still. So I'll sort the order out after. I want to get these role reactions in before we close up for the day. If I delete that, will it delete the actual? I don't know, I'm scared to delete that in case it deletes the actual message, but it seems like it's a separate one. I don't know, because it might look messy, that just staying like that forever. Does anyone know if I delete it, whether it would to remove this? Okay, so next one is, who is your favourite character and how big a fan of the Raindrop Chronicles? It'll be that last question that I think we'll have in the sidebar. So let's get this one in. So Carol fan, Meryl fan. Let's just rush and get these last roles in now. So create role. Carol fan. I'm not going to bother with colours for now, everyone. I'll do them off stream because it's going to take too long and it'll be time for my dinner. Ultimately, I want to get these reactions up so you guys can do this before the stream ends. And then the other roles were Raindrop Chronicles, Novice Apprentice and Super Fan. I think more people would be inclined to pick the Raindrop Chronicles Super Fan than Raindrop Chronicles Expert. I think people would get worried about sounding egotistic or picking that, so which is why I've renamed it to Super Fan. Oh, I didn't save those, did I? Damn it. Oh no, I did. It has saved them, thank goodness. Cool, so save. Those roles are done. Let's get them in. Carol Fan. Meryl Fan. No, not Carol the Barrel. That's not the right one. Is it not? Oh, there it is. And plus, an interesting thing about being a Carol fan or a Meryl fan, if there's ever news on that character, I can at you then. I can at all the Meryl fans. If there's thoughts about Meryl, like, you know, a direction for Meryl or dialogue for Meryl, for example, I can at the Meryl fans specifically to ask their opinions. So really there is some use with this. And same for like the foolish heroes and wise heroes. I can at you and be like, what sort of direction do you think or what you guys would go as wise heroes in this scenario if given this choice in the game? Do you get what I'm saying, folks? There is uses in that way. It might seem on the outside that they're just for fun, but actually it's a good, having these is helpful for the building the story and game and characters and everything. And I gave them emojis. I did give them emojis, so I am gonna use those same ones. Gave emojis that sort of gave off their vibe and the sort of personality they have overall. Some might all share the same emojis eventually, which is fine because we'll have lots of characters over time. It just looks nicer having emojis rather than just boring nothing. Just stops it looking just nothing but a mass of text that way. I like that I've given Violet the one without the mouth. In all honesty, I was pretty proud of that. Oh, I have to title it as I have to title this one. Who's your favourite character? I nearly forgot. None. Carol. Meryl. Elvira. Hank. Woody. Oliver. Dunn. And I'm sure there'll be a way to add more, hopefully, in the future. If we can't edit these, then I'll just have to make a new one. If we add more characters. So feel free to vote, everybody, for your favourite characters. New poll. Poll? Well, it is a sort of poll in a way, isn't it? Okay, now last one is this one. How big of a Raindrop Chronicles fan are you? So this is the final one, and this will probably be the one I base what shows up on the sidebar for. I'm not gonna have time to sort out all that. And I'm gonna have to rush off very shortly once this is up. I will be doing it before I go to bed tonight. Rolls. Albert, are you still awake? You will be missed here, but I totally understand your departure from Twitch. Hi Oracle, how you doing? Yeah, sometimes the project needs to take a different turn, you know. It's probably for the best, for the sake of the project and my own productivity, right? It might have been a different story if Twitch was sort of benefiting and helping, but as a lot of you will probably see, those of you that come to streams a lot, we don't get any visibility in this channel, sadly. So it's really the hours and hours of streaming really doesn't help the visibility for the game and project. So I'm finding putting my energy elsewhere and sort of dipping in multiple platforms and channels and just putting overall more effort and energy on behind the scenes stuff rather than exhausting myself with live streams twice a week for hours is just going to help massively. Alright, challenge rolls. How are you though, Oracle? I hope you're good. We're getting some roles and categories sorted in the Discord. It's still a bit of a mess at the moment. There's still a lot of organisation. But there's a lot of testing, a lot of experimenting to do regards of the collaboration in this Discord with these new channels we've got. But we're going to see how it goes and just play by ear. But keep an eye on the Discord for those of you that are here lurking. Don't forget about it once the streams come to an end, because I'll be very active in here. To keep up with the community. So in a way the live streams are going, but it's going to mean I'm more active in Discord to make up for that, and YouTube as well. We'll be getting videos that I never would have had time to do now that I'll be leaving it behind. So how big a fan of Raindrop Chronicles are you? And that would be Raindrop Chronicles Novice is the first one, Raindrop Chronicles Apprentice, and Raindrop Chronicles Super Fan. How could we rank these? Are the medals? Could use medals. Actually, that's perfect. No, the super fan should be gold. And if people look at this and think, well, I want to be a Raindrop Chronicles super fan, well, you can be. You get to pick your own reactions, so you can be a super fan. That means you've got to be a super fan. You have to support the game then, if you're a super fan. Okay, so right, let's get this one in then. Last but not least, moving on. And we're done. Yay! It's done, folks. There's some reacting that you've all got to do. Exclamation mark Discord if you're not in already. It's right there under roles, directly under announcements, folks. So that'll be there forever now. It might be edited over time. Don't get me wrong, just because it's this now doesn't mean it's that forever. There could be some adjustments along the way. I don't know if we're allowed to edit once we've put one in. It does let us change the colour though, luckily, which is great because I want to pick some colours for some of these. Just haven't had the time to do it on the stream because I'm in a rush now. It's way after my ending time. So I have no time to pick colours now, but you know, if we ever want to amend a poll, add more characters to it, add more options, we'll just delete it and add a new one again, and obviously we'll have to react again is all. So I'll be blowing myself on some of these soon. I'm egotistical, I'm picking all the good ones. I obviously have to vote on these because if I don't, I'm going to have no roles in mine under my name. So clearly I have to vote on all of these. Otherwise I'll look empty and I'm the leader. What am I doing? Roles. Edit. Members. Where's members? We're going to move members lower. I'm also going to move these ones higher. I'm going to just keep them here for now, but I'm probably going to move, yeah, we'll say, because I want to give colours to them and figure out which ones are going on the sidebar. There, save. Oh, the bots have gone up again on the thing. Probably delete that Twitch staff role in all honesty. Cool, that's better. So if you react on the first one, you'll get a colour to your name, folks, so don't forget. But the others you'll get colours as well. So I just haven't given them colours yet because I haven't had time. Obviously I'm gonna pick Carol fan. I'm a fan of them all. Can I vote for them all? And obviously I'm a super fan. So there we go, I've done everything for me. I have so many roles that it's falling off the edge. So okay, it works though. I've voted for loads and my roles have all fit, which is great. Keep an eye out, folks, because I'm gonna probably colour code some of these. I don't want to leave them all white, it'll be boring. But obviously I want them to be clear what's what. And keep an eye out as well on the content of these channels, because I will be adding to them. Obviously it's not going to happen overnight because there's a lot of organising to do, a lot of sorting out to do, but you will slowly see information appear in these channels, and we'll see how it goes with the whole aesthetics, and if we need to move things about for ease over time, we'll get some community feedback there and see how it goes. Should I delete all this stuff? Actually, let me just write a message in chat before we go. don't forget to, I'll zoom in on this. So don't forget to vote, but not vote, assign roles to yourself, everyone. That's perfect, the Carol Ride with that. Haven't finished making them all pretty colours yet, but will do later. Woo. Cool. Oh, we got some world builders in this channel, I see. Well, but it's all very helpful. It's really nice to know who in the community enjoys what bits the most. So keep voting. It's also going to be cool to see which characters you like the most. You're welcome to vote for as many as you want. But if obviously you've got one that you're drawn to the most as a favourite, vote for them. But ultimately I think this is the one we're going to use for the sidebar. So if you want to stand out and be highest up, you'll want to be a super fan. And that will be to distinguish which one's the most dedicated in the community and the biggest fans. So that's probably a good one to have in the sidebar. We'll say. First, I think the roles have massively improved to how they used to be. So, yeah, there's just way more going on now. Although it's still a bit messy, we'll get there. Thanks for hanging out in the stream, everyone. It's been a bit of a Discord week, hasn't it? This week for the streams, which has been needed. There's still a long way to go, though. I did want to add some content into these today, but we haven't had time. I'm going to be using discord.club to do all that. I'll be using these webhook embeds to get some summarised information on the world for each of these things, and that will make things easier when you've got a bit of context to know what to talk about. And if there's ever, like, say, a time comes where I'm ready to make a new character to add to Lakefall, or I'm ready to put a poll up, or I want to name the country that we haven't named yet, or I want to take Carol's character arc in a specific direction, and I need to discuss that, I'll literally just write in the relevant channel, and I might say at all the Carol fans so that they know that there's, so that'll be cool. Sometimes I'll at everybody, or at all the Raindrop Chronicles super fans, or at all the world builders and story helpers. But sometimes I'll at specific people. I think these roles will be really handy when working on certain parts of the game. So when the time comes that, that I add some sound effects and I want some feedback there, I'll add the sound pros. That'll be really good. Thinking about it, be really handy. Because then I don't have to at everyone in the whole Discord, then I'm atting certain people. So if you like Kung and you said, I don't think I specialise in any of these roles, well, in a way, see it as, if there's ever anything to do with these topics, like we're doing something very targeted at world building, or doing something specific to the next part of the story, or doing something to do with games or art, or so, then you'll be at it if you've got this role, so you'll know about it. You'll get the ping. And if story is your passion and that side of the game is your passion, you'll be notified. Whereas you won't be if you haven't got the role. You wouldn't get the automatic ping. So yeah, think about it that way. The bit that takes your interest the most. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Yay, thanks for the awesome stream today. You're welcome, Kung. So I never realised that at first, that I can act the people. I saw it just as pure fun and pure aesthetic, these roles, but they're actually going to come in for a bit of use, I'd say, thinking about it. So I'll see you on Tuesday, folks. We're on stream 258 today, correct? We got 2 more streams left. Tuesday and Thursday next week will be the 259th and the 260th stream, which that'll be the final one. There's going to be some really fun things going on that last stream, so yeah, don't miss out. It's going to be a reveal as well, so something really exciting. So I'll see you next week, everyone. It'll be a fun one, but a sad one. And then from that point on, I'm generally going to just have so much more energy and time. I'm going to really start putting effort into getting the game out there more actively. I feel like all I've been doing so far is putting all my eggs into one basket with Twitch, because that's where all my energy's gone overall. I've neglected Instagram, Twitter, every other outlet, even YouTube. Although I always put up the latest VODs on there, I never made exclusive content to YouTube, which really could be beneficial in the long run. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, for all we know, the Discord might remain just us and us super fans for the considerable future, and that's fine, because I'm totally happy with having a close-knit group of people to discuss this game together with on the Discord. It'll be a lot easier, a lot less stressful if it was just a few of us talking on there, and I wouldn't get distracted every minute of the day. But if our Discord did grow, because there was a little bit more visibility on the other platforms, and that's cool too, and we just have to have some moderators, or even add a start, like you say, that was suggested earlier, maybe make an actual forum if things did get busier. But we'll see how it goes. We'll judge that when the time comes. For now, we'll see how Discord is for collaboration. Hey, I'm back in Adamite, and welcome back, Van. I'm just rambling on about the plan and what's going to be happening from now on after next week and stuff. But the roles are in now. I haven't added the pretty colours yet to some of them because I haven't had time. But go, click the ones you want. I was saying how cool this is going to be, because in the Discord channels, if there's ever a time I want to specifically talk about story, say that we're going to do the next scene, we're going to write the next scene together for Main Quest 3, for example, what I'll do is I'll tag all the story helpers to let all the story helpers know that we're going to be doing the next part of the main story. If there's ever any art feedback I want, I'd tag all the artist assistants, same like with whatever discipline you've tagged yourself at, you'll get the notifications. And same, like, I might use this thing as a way to say, okay, all cowardly people, how would a cowardly hero behave in this scene? And ask for feedback that way. Same with the characters, I'd at all Hank fans and be like, so what would Hank, what do you think about Hank if this happened? It's a really, really good to be able to use the roles in that way. So I think that'll help a lot, because you'll get pinged then, you'll get the actual notification. So that'll be fabulous. But other than that, you've just missed me rambling, Van, about what's going to be going on and how I'm going to be using these roles to our advantage when collaborating in the Discord. If you want to look at the VOD, you can totally feel free to, but just vibe. Everything's in there now. What's in here under roles, folks, is what will stay here for the foreseeable future. We might add more when the time's right. We might expand on some of these when we introduce more characters and we want to. Wouldn't surprise me if eventually we have like a ridiculous amount of characters to vote for and react on one day. But for now, these are the ones we'll have. And I've voted for quite a lot, so my name's quite long. I've got a lot of roles I have, so they're not colourful yet, but I'm gonna look at assigning colours with these things. So I'll be doing that later. I'm hungry now, it's time for my dinner. I'm gonna chill a bit, and then I'm gonna spend the weekend between now and next stream just adding more content. I'm going to spend a weekend getting info on the Law Bible. You might start noticing content going here. I'll let you know on the Discord when I do add new stuff, folks. I'll add the world builders, for example, if I've added something to one of the articles. Yes, I'll just be doing Law Bob stuff this weekend, I think. And then once we've wrapped up streams next weekend, I'm going to start getting really into doing more scene work and game development. I think I have the focus to really fully concentrate on that. Then you will see more screenshots after days, more video clips of some of the scenes. And obviously as I do them, I'll be posting them under the story section as well, as we get more updates with that, so you guys can follow along with how that's getting on. So obviously if you are interested in story and seeing how the scenes look when I've worked on them, definitely tag yourself as story helpers to keep up with that, otherwise you might miss them. You won't get pinged anyway, you'd have to look off your own back in the Discord. So is the Law Master Role still around, or did it disappear? See, members are not separated on the right. Overall looking good. Yeah, you've still got that van. If you click your name, you'll see it's there on the list. The Hall of Famer should be there too. That mainly shows up for those that haven't given themselves other roles. And I'm gonna probably as well in the information section have a little section showing what each role means, because some people might think, what's a Hall of Famer or what's the Law Master? So I'm actually going to put next to there what that role was for, and that's the top 20 Raindrop people, and that's the trivia winner, etc. And all this information page will get a massive glow up once the Twitch streams are finished and the Patreon page and everything else is updated and out. Is that a mouse over? Yeah, you just click your own name or other users' names and you get to see who everyone is. So I can see already some of you have got up colours that you've given yourself, which is great. And this sidebar needs a bit of a sort out, folks. This isn't how it's going to look. I've got to actually decide which roles are going to show up in the sidebar, what ones are the ones that are going to be visible. I was thinking, because we obviously don't want it to be a chaotic mess and have everything there, because it'll get confusing, that I might focus on the Raindrop Chronicles super fans, not Apprentice and Novice as the thing that will be in the sidebar, and then obviously the super fans would be the ones highest up, and then Apprentice and then Novice, and that way we get to see who's the most dedicated to the game, and then you get the biggest followers and that first. So yeah, that might be the one I put in the sidebar, but I'll sort that all out after, because I've got to head off now and we don't have the time. Enjoy your dinner, and thanks for streaming. How to make Law Master role colour shop. It's all to do with the priority in the role. So I'm going to give that a sort because it's a big mess at the moment. The priorities are wrong. So I'll be doing that after my dinner. So you'll see later. If you keep an eye over the night or have a look tomorrow, you might see that it looks a bit different then. So I'll see you on Tuesday, folks. And I don't know what we'll be doing next week, but it might still obviously be related to content when the streams finish and what we're going to do there. It's all been about Discord this week. It might be about YouTube and Patreon next week. So we'll see. We might even do some content for the Discord next week as well in these little spots and Law Bible articles. because that's always handy too. It's going to really help with the community discussion to get those articles in. So if we you know, we don't do Patreon stuff, then it might be that also. Oh, the barrel list doesn't include Axel. No, he's not there yet, which is sad because he's definitely part of the fam, isn't he, deep down? But because he's not an introduced character and doesn't even have a sprite yet, I guess I feel he's not really established enough. But when we do expand this character selection, because I think we'll be doing that at some point in the near future, we'll be adding additional characters to this. We can add people like that on the list. We can really expand it so we've got way more characters on here. So I'll see you next week on Tuesday, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out. Have a good weekend. Keep an eye on the Discord. But if you've added yourself, like if you've given yourself a role, you'll get pinged anyway. That's kind of the plan. If you're a world builder, for example. So I'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and for all your help and ideas. I appreciate it. Bye bye.